welcome back to The Horror with your hostess with the mostest, Annabelle, as always. So really quick, before we get into our review for the day, I have a quick shout out. Horror Man Mike, he just recently restarted his YouTube channel, has a brand new channel and everything, has only a couple of videos up at the moment. He will be uploading more videos in the near future. Go check him out, give him some support and everything. So Mike, good luck with the YouTube channel. We will be watching you and keeping up with you. So thank you very much for getting in touch with me and checking me out. I look forward to more videos from you. So let's go ahead and crack into our review for the day. We are going to go ahead and dive right into our Halloween franchise as usual with the Love It or Hate It film Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Now this movie, I did not watch for the longest time, mainly because growing up, pretty much all my life growing up, my siblings, who you guys know are all older than me, they really would always tell me, anytime I would see this in the video store or anything, or on the shelves at whatever store we were at, they would always say, oh my god, that is like the worst Halloween movie, it's so stupid, it's this, it's that. So I never watched it because I was like, hey, my siblings are older than me, they've seen a lot of movies, they must know what they're talking about. Not so much. Just saying. But no, seriously, it took me quite a number of years to actually check this movie out. I was actually even just talking to Sarah1228 yesterday when I posted that I was watching this. She even kind of said too, like, you know, she had seen this quite a number of years ago, roughly almost like within a span of a few years of when I had seen it. I know she said that she even, like, really did not like this movie when she first saw it. Kind of slightly grew on her a little bit over the years, the more she watched it. For me, like, I didn't watch this movie for the first time until I was, like, high school. So I'm not even sure when in high school, like, I don't even know. Like, maybe sophomore, junior year at the earliest. And honestly, when I first watched it, I actually kind of enjoyed it a little bit. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be, so, but whatever. I think that was kind of like the first time, too, when I realized, you can't always judge a movie by the opinions of everyone else, because we all have our different tastes in movies and everything, so, but whatever, but rightfully so. If you don't like this movie, if you don't like Halloween 3, I definitely get it. I understand the hate on it and everything, kind of rightfully so. A lot of gripes that people have that they don't like this movie is, simple fact, doesn't have Michael Myers in it. Technically it does, he is on the TV screen, but, you know, things like that, it's not really a true Halloween movie. I get that, so I'm not even going to argue with that. But, interesting little side note, I'm sure most of us already know this little tidbit, but for those of you who don't know this, Halloween 3, when they were doing Halloween 3, they really wanted to kind of do something different, maybe break away from the whole Michael Myers character and storyline, and kind of rightfully so, because when you think about it, the end of Halloween 2, we have both Michael Myers and Sam Loomis pretty much up in flames. It's pretty presumable that they are dead. So probably one of the only times when a movie studio or a company figured, hey, our main villain, our main character is dead, and really we can't even, like, fix it, we can't bring him back. Let's do something different, because we all know that we would probably be griping about it anyway if there's another sequel with Michael in it. So they were trying to do the right thing. I give them credit for that. But no, they were trying to do more of, like, going forward, doing more sequels with the Halloween title, but doing it more of like an anthology type of franchise, where each movie would have its own sort of story with its own sequel potential and everything. So honestly, I think that would have been a pretty good, cool idea. I don't know if it would necessarily be a good idea, but it would have been interesting to kind of go down that route, or at least maybe kind of do that along with maybe even bringing back Michael as they did several years later in Halloween 4. I think you could still have both type of Halloween movies going on at the same time and having like people be satisfied having both sort of ventures. But unfortunately, we never got that. Halloween 3, unfortunately, is really the only kind of anthology type of movie that we had gotten. Now, when I say anthology, please don't think I'm saying like anthology in vein of like Creepshow or anything. Not like that at all. Just the series itself being an anthology type of storyline. So, but no, I think that would have been an interesting idea. But unfortunately, we never got that. So, but whatever. So, Halloween 3, a lot of interesting kind of like aspects about this movie. Main storyline is that there's obviously this toy manufacturer that is trying to make all these like Halloween masks and everything. Very successful. It's like the hottest item right now. It's, people are always ordering these for Halloween and everything. But of course, there's a price to pay, as we all know. There's a little gadget on the masks, a little like pin or whatever, and it'll make like freaking slugs, snakes, crickets, spiders, whatnot crawl out of your head and pretty much kill you. So whatever. But no, I think that's kind of interesting though, because this man Cochran, who is in charge of this like toy manufacturer and everything, he used to make a lot of like novelty items, like those cheap little like gags you would get at like little comic shops or magic shops, little things like that. Just very cheap items, very successful, kind of, made his money that way before getting into the mask industry. And he is actually, I guess he's from Ireland, even though he doesn't have an Irish accent. But at the end of the day, it's kind of interesting because, I kind of realized I've kind of made this connection upon watching this again yesterday. And, I feel like that's almost very much, in a sense, like the American way. Like, you can come to America, you can have a successful business, even if it's for like making money off these really cheap items and becoming like a huge success and everything. And it's like the American dream, the American way and everything. You come in, make cheap products, and you charge a butt ton for them. So little things like that this movie doesn't really get credit for, I feel. I don't know if people really have ever made that connection with Cochran and the company and everything, and the American dream. I'm sure people have, so I'm not going to say it's never ever been said before. But yeah, once again, like I said, I just little things like that I really enjoyed about this movie, that aspect and everything. And of course, we kind of start out with the story. Kind of jumps pretty quickly into the story, where we see this man kind of running from these people, like these guys, like these men in slow it down, Jenna. Being chased by these like men in black. For whatever reason, we just know that he's, they're after this guy and everything for whatever reason. He has this mask that obviously we're going to come to find out what's up with them and everything. And then he ends up like, dying and everything. He gets killed and everything. And then his daughter, Ellie, comes into picture and everything. And she's kind of a hotly debated character herself, because we know that like towards the end, we realize she's a robot. We're kind of maybe led to believe that the like Cochran ended up killing her and just kind of like making a robot out of her. Other people have said that maybe she was actually a robot all along. I can kind of see that maybe, especially considering, her father shows up to the hospital and everything. There's witnesses. So maybe she was sent as sort of like some bait to lure Tom Atkins and sort of do the dirty work and clean up a little bit and try not to have any sort of witnesses to actually what had happened and everything. So I can kind of see both. I think at first, when I first saw this, the first few times I saw this, I thought, no, the robot aspect of her being a robot throughout the movie, I kind of dismissed it, but the more I watch it, the more I could see maybe she was a robot all along. Kind of does make sense. But whatever. I mean, plus you kind of think about it because she's kind of luring um, Tom Atkins' character to like follow her and kind of like do the nasty with her and everything. And that's the other thing that I like about this movie is it has and I'm gonna have to quote my sister from another Mister, Jen, over at Jen's Reviews from the Grave about this. This movie has Tom fucking Atkins in it. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. He's sexy, man. I'm just saying he is sexy. He is. I'm sorry. Don't even deny it. Don't even deny it. I'm pretty sure some of you guys even think he's pretty sexy too. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he's like totally overweight now. I'd still bang him. I'm just saying. He's like the Tom Jones of movies, I feel. I'm just saying. But anyway. But no, there's little things about this movie that really that are really, really good that I feel like a lot of us really have kind of come to appreciate about this movie. I know this movie was a complete flop when it was released back in 1982, kind of rightfully so. Because people are kind of going in expecting to see Michael Myers, but instead we're watching this movie about this Irish toy company making these damn masks and everything, and like, where the hell's Michael at? But whatever. But what? Come to think of it, though, like, it's not like they really were pulling the wool over anyone's eyes, because from what I remember, the trailers, from what I recall seeing like trailers and stuff, they didn't portray it as like Michael was going to be in the sequel or anything. They kind of knew what they were getting. So, but I mean, I feel like every franchise kind of has like that one entry where it's like one sequel is not like the rest of the franchise. For example, like Friday 13th, I feel like it's part 5, uh, the New Blood or whatever it was. For Nightmare on Elm Street, it's part 2, Freddy's Revenge. This one, obviously, it's Halloween 3. It's very much different from the rest of the franchise. But whatever. But yeah, some of the things though that I do like is like once again the sort of like Celtic like mythology and everything, and the tie-in with like the Celtic mythology and everything, and like the Stonehenge, sort of like the mystical powers that it has. I like that they were trying to use that, and somehow Cochran had gotten like Stonehenge moved into his like little testing area or whatever, or like his basement or something of his factory. Like, how do you end up doing that? Like, that's pretty noticeable. Like, it's not like you could just put like, uproot Stonehenge and put a bunch of really big ass, heavy ass rocks into a plane, check it onto a plane, and fly to Santa Mira. I'm just saying, like, it's a little fishy. Like, how did you do that? Did you do some like Wicca or something? I don't know. Whatever. But no, little things like that. It's, they continue to use that. I do like that because I know in like part 2, they were talking a little bit about like Halloween in Ireland and everything, some of that stuff and everything. So I like that they kind of did carry that over. I feel like that's kind of one of the few like constants that actually remained in a bit of the franchise and everything. We'd see that a little bit later in future installments and everything. So I like little things like that. So, but another thing that I do like about this movie that I feel like John Carpenter would then really kind of hone and do better in a future movie called They Live with Roddy Piper is just sort of like the consumerism, kind of going back to what I was just saying about like the American way and everything, but just the whole like consumerism aspect of things. Like, you do see this family and stuff, and then another individual woman who places orders for these masks and everything. It's like they're purchasing it so they can then in turn make money off of making or off of getting these masks and everything. Very much the American way. We don't really, like ask where these things are coming from, how they're made or anything. We're just like, hey, you know what? That's a profit for me. I'm gonna get in on that action. That is so how America is. We just buy shit. I'm just saying. Um, anyway, but no, Halloween 3 though, it definitely is. I feel like it's a really good, solid story. I feel like we should have gotten like a sequel to this one. Once again, kind of going back to their idea of doing these sort of like anthology type of Halloween movies, each story kind of being different. I would have kind of liked to have seen like what would have happened, like what happened to all these like masks and everything. What happened to all these like men in black and all this? Like, what happened? Like, did all the kids in America truly actually die and everything, or what? Like, what happened to the kids who couldn't afford these freaking masks? Like, what happened to them? I don't know. But no, I mean, it's a great. I feel like it's a great story. Very underrated. I'm glad that it definitely has found its own sort of audience and everything over the years. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this movie. I know some of you guys have already said like. Have already kind of shared your opinions already a little bit about Halloween 3 in the comments of Halloween 1, my Halloween 1 video. Some of you guys do really kind of enjoy this movie. I know a couple of you guys have already said like, oh my god, I cannot stand Halloween 3. I respect that. You guys know me. I respect that. That is what is fun about doing this channel, is hearing what you guys like and dislike in movies. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys love this movie? Hate it? And what do you guys think about Ellie? Do you think she was a robot the entire movie, or do you think she was like human and then killed and turned into a robot? Let me know. I want to know. But till next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.